Hello, I'm Mrs. Williams, and welcome to College Algebra Math 119 online. I'm going to go over just a few quick things. I say quick, it probably won't be quick. I'm sorry. I'm going to do my best to keep it quick, though. First of all, I'm Mrs. Williams. I'm your instructor for this course, and for this course, we're going to be using MyMathLab, not Blackboard. Okay, I will post this video, a link to the MyMathLab website, and your syllabus in Blackboard so that you can reference them. But once you get set up in MyMathLab, that's how we're going to communicate. That's where everything will be done. So please don't send me messages on Blackboard. I don't check it. I won't get it. Either send it to me through MyMathLab or directly to my ENMU email account, which is mb.williams@enmu.edu, okay? Or you can call my office number, which is also on your syllabus. So I want to explain to you really quickly, our college algebra class has changed just a little bit to where now we are offering a college algebra support class, which is Math 118. Now, not all of you are required to take Math 118 and Math 119 concurrently. Those of you who are exempt have either already been notified because you were able to enroll in 119 without 118, or I will be sending out emails at the beginning of the semester to let those of you who have high enough GPAs or ACT, SAT scores to give you the option to opt out of Math 118. Now, if you do not get an email from me, you do not have this option. You have to take Math 118. Anyone moving up from a lower math course coming into college algebra is automatically required to take both Math 118 with 119. Okay, so what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to go over just 119 for those of you who are enrolled only in 119, and then at the end of this video I'll talk a little bit about 118 and the protocol for that class and the expectations and how it's going to be ran. Okay, so first of all, I want to go ahead and show you how to get to MyMathLab. If you open up a new tab, you can just type in www.mymathlab.com and hit enter, and it brings up the MyMathLab site. Notice over here on the right hand side, if you're already had a MyMathLab account at some point in your life, you can just sign into your existing account. If you have not ever used MyMathLab before, or you've never attempted college algebra with MyMathLab before, what you're going to need to do is register as a new student. So right here over on the right it says register now, and you want to click on the student tab, and notice down here it'll say you need three things. An email. Okay, if you don't have an email, first of all, you should not be taking an online class. You definitely need an email address. You can use whatever email you want. Now, you can use your Eastern or Gmail, Yahoo, whatever. Use whichever email that you check most often, because this is the email where when I send out announcements or messages, it's going to go to that email. Okay, so to make sure you're getting it, you're staying in the loop, so to speak, or in the know, you want to use the email that you check most often. Course ID, now this is located on your syllabus. I'm going to show you a syllabus. I'm making this video for spring 2015, so if you're watching this video and it's not spring 2015, make sure you check your current syllabus for your access code. On the syllabus, I always have the access code on the first page, and it's usually Williams followed by some number. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and copy that just so that I have it. That's where it's located, so check your syllabus to get your access code. And then it says you need a credit card. Okay, I'm sorry, not an access code. That was your course ID. Your course ID is the Williams with the number. And then you need some way of paying for your code. Now, if you've already purchased a code, that's fine. If you haven't purchased a code, you'll have the opportunity to sign up and just do a free trial until you're ready to purchase your code. Okay, so I'm going to say, okay, I have those three things. Let's get registered. And it's going to first ask for your course ID, which is the ID that ties you to my class. You don't get put in some other instructor's class at some other institution. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and copy in that number that I just put. Again, if this is not spring 2015 when you're watching this video, don't use this code. Use the code that's on your syllabus, okay, and hit continue. Now, it's going to say, do you already have an account? If you do, you can go ahead and log in. If you do not, which I'm assuming you're a new student, we're going to click this middle one that says create account. And then here's where you'll enter your email address, your username, your password. Now, if you don't type in a specific username, it's just going to use your email address as your username to log in with. Okay, make sure your email address is entered correctly. Okay, it's a pain to go back in and edit things later. The other thing that I want to highlight is that please enter your name the way that you want it to appear. So if your name is, I don't know, Guadalupe Rodriguez or something like that, okay? But you don't go by Guadalupe, maybe you go by Mary. Go ahead and enter just Mary Rodriguez or however you want me to correspond with you. That way when you're emailing me, whatever your name is on your email or when you answer the phone, I know who it is in my grade book, okay? However you type it in is how it's going to show up. So make sure that you use nice, you know, first letters capital and that type of thing, okay? And then it'll ask you to put in a security question. Now, once you have all your information entered, you can click over here, I accept the license agreement, and then you can choose whether or not you'd like to hear about new offers. Most people don't. And then hit create account, okay? Notice you can see over here to the right, it shows you my information. This is Math 119 Online College Algebra Spring 2015. So when you're registering, make sure you look over there, make sure it's the current semester and you have the right code and that kind of thing. When you hit create account, it's going to take you to your MyMathLab page, which looks something like this. Now you won't have this many classes over here on the side. This is all the classes I'm teaching this semester. So you should just have the one that you just enrolled in, which for me was Math 119 Online College Algebra Spring 2015. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just click on that. This is how you'll enter your course every time. You'll log in using your username or your email that you just registered with, and you'll click on that course. Now, when you click on that course, it will bring you to your course home page, which will show you your upcoming assignments that are due. It'll show you kind of where you're at on your progress, how many homeworks you've completed, tests, final exam, that type of thing. And it can show you how many days and hours until your next due date. So it's kind of a neat little page just to look at things. But I want to highlight the most important. First of all, your grade book. When you click on your grade book, it's going to show you all the assignments you've completed. Up here where it says results, in this corner right here, that's where your overall score will show. And then if you click show overall score, oh, there we go. I have a 0. I haven't done anything. Darn me. Okay. So anyways, it shows you your grade and then it also shows you the breakdown. So right here you can see homework is worth 30%, your tests are worth 50, and your final exam is worth 20. And it'll show you your grade in each of those categories. Okay, so gradebook is a good place just to check your overall progress. And then the homework tab is actually where you'll find all your assignments. Okay, it's a homework assignment. It'll have a blue little circle with an H in it, and you'll just click directly on that assignment to get it going. So notice your first assignment is a syllabus quiz. So hopefully you read through my syllabus. And then you'll be able to answer these questions. Okay, it's open book, open note, that kind of thing. I just want to make sure that you've actually read through and picked out some of the more important aspects that you know what I expect and that type of thing. Okay, so when you click on that, it'll just show you how many questions you have, and you click on each question to complete it. Okay, so I'll show you just a quick little rundown. So here, bad weather and transportation issues did not suffice as reasons for the instructor to extend assignment due dates, true or false. And you just click and then hit save. Okay, I'm not going to answer it because I know the answer and I don't want to give it away. Once you've completed each question, there'll be a check mark next to it and it'll give you a grade. Okay. Quizzes and tests, you'll be able to see your exams there. Your exams will be taken through MyMathLab. None of your exams are proctored, however, they are timed. Okay, online exams are a little bit more difficult than the ones I would give in my normal class because I'm under the impression you probably are using your notes and that type of thing. So I want to make sure you really know what you're doing. The only exam that is proctored is your final exam, and I have a video, a separate video that talks about test taking in this class. So make sure you watch that one when a test is getting close and that type of thing. Okay. The other tab that I want to talk about is your course materials tab. If you click on course materials, notice here you have a copy of your syllabus, so in case you lose yours. And then you have the lecture schedule. Now, even though MyMathLab tells you when your upcoming events are and that type of thing, I really think it's a good idea to print out this lecture schedule. This gives you all the dates in which you should be completing the assignments. Okay, so if you don't complete the assignments by these dates, you will get a late penalty. And then once the exam has passed, you cannot do any old homework corresponding to that exam. All right, so this is a really good way to make sure you're on track. It shows you what video you need to be watching, and then the corresponding homework assignment, the due date, and then there's little boxes where you can check it off to show that you've actually done it. Because this is structured as a web class, you can work ahead. You can do things before the due date. You can take tests as soon as you're ready for them, that type of thing. But you do have to stay on task, okay? Don't do things after the due date and that type of thing. So it has been known for people to finish the semester early if they're really diligent, if that's something you're interested in, okay? The next little bar over here is lecture guides, okay? When I record my videos, what I do is I have some pre-printed notes that I use. And when I record my videos, I work through those notes and you can see me working through them. So I give you a copy of those notes that are blank. So you'll see here's the first one, polynomials and factoring, and there's just some definitions to fill in, and then you work the problems. Okay, so I highly suggest printing these out because these will be your notes for the semester. You can take it on regular notebook paper, but this will save you a lot of time writing because the problems are already on there for you. Okay, if you have a tablet or something like that where you can write on a document using your computer or your tablet, that's another great way to take notes for this class. Okay. So that's your lecture notes. And then there's a link here for lecture videos. Okay, this is probably an old one. I'm going to update these. But you'll click on lecture videos and notice here's your introduction video, which is what you're watching right now. And then there's the video on how to take exams. And then there's a video for every single section that will be completed this semester. Now, I apologize. Some of these videos were made a semester or two ago. I was in a car wreck, and so some of them I look a little rough. So I apologize. Hopefully, I'll be able to go in and update those and edit them so that I don't look as homely in them. But if you look at it and you're like, wow, her hair's really short and she looks like she's in pain, that's why. But for the most part, I think the videos are good quality. If you have any problem viewing them, just let me know and I'll do my best to resolve the issue. Okay. Now, 95% of your homework is going to be through MyMathLab, but there are a few sections like graphing and such where I assign a worksheet, because I feel like MyMathLab doesn't really let me see if y'all really understand the concepts. So this is where your worksheets are listed, and it shows all the worksheets that will be due for the semester. Now, because you're online students, if you're located here, you can come turn these worksheets into me in person, to my secretary or at my office door, and make sure you get them in by the due date. If you are a distance student, you'll need to either scan and email your worksheets to me or fax them to my department so that I can grade them. Now, I have to receive them by the due date or the same late penalties apply. Okay, so again, print those out. Those are just some supplemental homeworks. They are required. They are part of your grade. Okay. And then the last tab here, I have my reviews already on here. If you click on the review, it gives you a bunch of problems to work through to get you ready for the test. And then the very last page is all the solutions for the problems. You do not have to turn in your review. Okay, your review is just to help you prepare for the test. And I will tell you that I'm going to really quickly go back up here to the homework tab. When you're working through your homework, there is a homework assignment that is called review, I believe, and it just tells you the location of the review. So make sure you click on that so you get credit for that assignment. Okay. All right. Then the last thing that I want to go over is, notice here there's things that say warnings page. Warnings page. Okay. This is another one of your first assignments. If you live within 200 miles of ENMU, I want you to sign this. And it's just saying that you have read through and you understand what I'm warning you about taking math online. Okay, it can be a little bit more difficult. You have to have good self-paced study skills. You need to be able to work with software, just some general things. Also, when you take a math class online through Eastern New Mexico University, we require that you pass the final in order to pass the class, which means if you make less than a 60% on your final exam, you automatically get an F in this course. Okay, that's also stated in here. So this is just something, things that we want you to be aware of before coming into the class. And when I receive your scan or your signed copy of the warnings page, you'll get 100 for that assignment. Okay, you do need to sign it and get it back to me. Again, scan an email, fax it in, turn it in by hand. So there's two different ones. There's one that says you live within 200 miles of ENMU, and there's one that says you live over 200 miles away from ENMU. So make sure you're filling in the right one. For those of you who live further away than 200 miles, you're going to have to find a proctor for your final exam. And this last page right here is the proctor form that you will need to fill out and turn in to me as soon as possible. I know the final isn't till the end of the semester, but if we put it off till the end of the semester, we all know we forget about it and that type of thing. So better to do it now while it's fresh on your mind, get it all set up. It has to be a community college or a four-year college testing center that you're taking your exam at, okay, for obviously academic integrity purposes. Okay, so there's kind of a rundown on how to do MyMathLab. Hopefully you've seen it before. If not, it tends to be really user-friendly. There's a lot of good tools and tips and tricks, and there's a study plan and just different things to help you out, okay? One other thing I want to point out before I move on to 118 is down here, notice you have a little tab that's called Course Tools. If you click on Course Tools, you have the option of sending an email. If you click on email, it will list myself as the instructor, and it will also have a list of all the other students in the class. So if you know someone in the class and you want to correspond with them, or sometimes we're given a tutor for this class, the tutor will show up there, or even just sending a message to me, this is a great way to do it. It goes directly to my Eastern email. It's also a good way to communicate with other students if you want to collaborate and study together and that type of thing. Okay. All right, so that's the quick rundown of MyMathLab. What I'd like to talk about now is for those of you who are required to take 118, I'm going to go ahead and go back up here on the left. It says courses up here at the top. When I click on courses, it's going to take you back to your login page of MyMathLab, your home page, the first thing you see. And right now, you're just going to have a Math 119 class. Okay. If you're required to take Math 118, you will be given a syllabus for that class as well in Blackboard for that class. And what you're going to do is you're going to enroll in another class. Okay, you'll have the option up here to add another course. Okay, enroll in another course, and that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to click on that, and it will take you through the same process that you just did for Math 119, but you'll have a separate code for Math 118. Okay, so once you get enrolled in the Math 118 course, and again, you don't have to buy an extra access code. I tied both courses to the same textbook, so once you have enrolled in one, you'll be able to enroll in the other without purchasing anything else, okay? And the good news is if you're coming from Eastern's prerequisite course, Math 104, it should be the same text that they used in that class, and therefore hopefully you won't have to buy an access code at all moving up to this class. Okay, so once you add your 118 on, you should have two courses. You should have the Math 118 online course and the Math 119 online course. So I'm going to go ahead and just go into the Math 118 shell. It looks exactly like the Math 119 one. You still have your course homepage, your grade book, all that type of thing. Now Math 118 is a little bit different. Math 118 is set up to be a support for college algebra, meaning it's going to help you understand those underlying concepts that maybe you're not quite clear on, or you might just need a refresher on. So if you look at the homework, so here you're going to see a listing of all the assignments. I don't have them all up yet. There should be more than this. And notice each homework assignment starts with pre. So if in Math 119 we're doing E1.1, then in Math 118 we're going to do pre-E1.1. So it's the pre-topics or the fundamental things that we need to know in order to be able to complete that assignment in college algebra. Okay, so this is just kind of a refresher course. So if you click on it, some of these should be hopefully things you've seen before, if not, hopefully things that will not highly offend you. So these assignments, when you click on them, should be easier assignments. I'm going to go ahead and just click on this first question. It's a basic factoring. So if you're not sure how to factor, if you are, go ahead and type in the answer. If you're not, notice over here you have some buttons to help you. It says help me solve this, that works you through it, or you can view an example of a problem like this. Some of them have videos that you can watch to help you understand, or you can actually view the textbook for the section that this comes from to help to gain understanding. If you can't figure it out, notice there's a little button here that says ask my instructor. If you click on that button, it will open up a message that's going to be sent directly to me, and you can say, how do I do this? Okay, be a little bit more specific than that. You can say, I don't understand how they got 3 in the answer, or what do I do when it's a plus sign instead of a minus sign? Things like that. Give me some type of question, and what it will do is it will send this problem directly to me so I can see the problem you're working on, what you've typed in, and also you know, just have the exact problem that you're working with, which makes me helping you a lot easier. The other thing that a lot of people like to do, if you're not a huge fan of computers, is you have the option to print it. So you can actually hit the print button and it will ask you, do you want to print just this question, or do you want to print the entire homework assignment? A lot of people will like to print out the entire assignment and work it, and that way when they go back to the computer, all they have to do is enter their answers. It's totally up to you how you want to work through it, but those are some options and tools available to you. For Math 118, your grade is determined solely on your attendance and your homework scores. Okay, now I know this is an online class, so attendance sounds like a silly thing to be graded on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look each week to make sure you've logged in and worked on an assignment. If you have logged in and been active in the software, then you get 100 for your attendance that week. If you have not logged in that week and worked on anything, then you get a 0. Okay, so just because you're logging in, if all you did was open up one question and close it like I just did, that's not going to suffice. Okay, I want to see that you're spending time, because I can see how many hours and minutes you're spending in each assignment. I want to see that you're working on things. If you're working on things, if you're progressing, you're going to get 100 for your attendance. If you're not working on things and you're not progressing, you're going to get a 0 for attendance. Okay, at the end of the semester, your attendance average and your homework average determine your entire grade. Okay, attendance is worth 20% and your homework is worth 80. Okay, so there will be no exams in Math 118. This is not a class that's intended to add a whole bunch more to your workload. It's more of a refresher and to help you be successful in Math 119. Okay. Again, I'm Mrs. Williams. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me or email me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So let's have a good semester and good luck.